Chinese mythology is a vast, rich tapestry that stretches back thousands of years, woven with gods, goddesses, legendary heroes, dragons, spirits, and creatures beyond imagination. These myths are more than just stories. They form the very heart of Chinese culture, shaping its traditions, art, literature, philosophy, and values. The tales told by the ancient Chinese are not only filled with magic and wonder, but also profound lessons about life, the natural world, and the human spirit. In the beginning, before time began, there was only chaos, an endless void where nothing existed but potential. This was the primordial state of the universe, and from it arose Pangu, the first being. Pangu was born from the cosmic egg, and with a mighty swing of his axe, he split the egg in two, separating yin, the earth, from yang, the heavens. With his actions, he created the world as we know it. As Pangu grew, his body took on the very essence of the earth. His breath became the wind, his voice the thunder, and his blood the rivers. His enormous form became the mountains and valleys, and his eyes the sun and moon, bringing light to the world. Pangu's strength and sacrifice marked the first act of creation, establishing the balance between heaven and earth, light and dark, life and death. But Pangu's task was not easy. He labored for 18,000 years, his body growing with the universe, until one day, when the balance was complete, he collapsed and died. His spirit became the foundation of the earth. His breath became the wind. His voice became thunder. His blood became the rivers, and his body turned into the mountains, valleys, and all living creatures. After Pangu's great sacrifice, the earth was still a wild and untamed place, but it was now ready for the presence of life. From the deep, the goddess Nüwa rose. Nüwa was the goddess of creation and fertility, and she molded the first human beings from the clay of the earth. With her divine touch, she breathed life into these clay figures, giving birth to humanity. But Nüwa's story didn't end with her creation of mankind. In an act of compassion and sacrifice, Nüwa faced a great tragedy. The sky began to crack, and the pillars holding the heavens up started to collapse. This catastrophic event threatened to plunge the world back into chaos. Desperate to save humanity, Nüwa melted 5 colored stones and used the molten substance to patch the sky, repairing the heavens and restoring balance. Through her wisdom and bravery, she protected the world from destruction and preserved life on Earth. Beneath the earth, far from human eyes, the forces of nature were alive and teeming with power. In the depths of the eastern sea lived the dragon king Guang, a mighty ruler of the oceans, with scales as iridescent as jade and eyes that gleamed like precious pearls. Guang commanded the waters with ease, but even he was not invincible. When the time came for heroes to rise and the forces of chaos to stir, Guang's kingdom would become the stage for the greatest of battles. Though revered and powerful, Guang was not immune to fate. As dragons were the forces of nature, so were the mythical creatures that inhabited the earth, each embodying a distinct quality or force of nature. Dragons, revered as symbols of strength and protection, were believed to bring rains and prosperity to the land. One of the most beloved legends in Chinese mythology is that of the Cowherd, Niulang, and the weaver girl, Jinu. The Cowherd was a humble, kind man who lived with his ox, tending his herd by the banks of the Yellow River. He was unaware that his destiny would soon intertwine with that of a celestial maiden, the weaver girl, who lived in the heavens. Each year, on the 7th day of the 7th month, the magpies formed a bridge across the skies, allowing the Cowherd and the weaver girl to meet. Despite the celestial laws forbidding their union, their love grew stronger with each meeting. However, when the Jade Emperor of Heaven discovered their love, he became furious and banished the weaver girl back to the heavens, leaving the Cowherd to grieve on earth. Moved by their love, the magpies took pity on them, and once a year, they would build the bridge to reunite the lovers. This myth is celebrated as the Qixi Festival, which is known as China's version of Valentine's Day. It's a poignant reminder of the power of love to transcend time, distance, and even divine law. No story of Chinese mythology would be complete without Sun Wukong, the legendary Monkey King, a trickster and powerful hero. Born from a stone egg, Sun Wukong possessed incredible strength, intelligence, and immortality. His story is one of rebellion and redemption. Determined to achieve immortality, he studied with Taoist immortals and learned powerful magic, including shape-shifting and cloud-walking. However, his ambition led him to defy the Jade Emperor himself, demanding a seat among the gods. Infuriated by his arrogance and mischief, the heavenly deities imprisoned him under a mountain, where he was to remain for 500 years. But Sun Wukong's true journey began after his release, when he accompanied the monk Xuanzang on a sacred pilgrimage to retrieve Buddhist scriptures from the Western lands. Sun Wukong's journey of transformation was a struggle for redemption and enlightenment. Through his adventures, he learned humility, loyalty, and the value of sacrifice, traits that would earn him a revered place in Chinese mythology. In Chinese mythology, the pursuit of immortality was a theme that ran through many of its tales. The gods and immortals were not simply figures of awe and power, but also embodiments of human aspirations for eternal life, enlightenment, and transcendence. The 8 Immortals are perhaps the most famous group of legendary figures in Chinese mythology, each with unique powers and flaws. These immortals are often depicted as a symbol of hope for ordinary people, showing that anyone, no matter their origin, could achieve immortality through virtue and selflessness. Among them was Lu Dongbin, a scholar who attained immortality through his spiritual practice, and Zhang Guolao, a humorous and humble figure who rode a donkey backward. Their adventures are not just stories of miraculous feats, but also moral lessons that emphasize the importance of compassion, humility, and virtue. Chinese mythology is also filled with creatures of extraordinary power and symbolism. Among the most famous are the dragons, which embody strength, wisdom, and prosperity. Dragons are believed to control the rain and the rivers, and in ancient times, they were considered symbols of the emperor's divine authority. The phoenix, another legendary creature, represents rebirth and renewal. Often associated with the feminine, the phoenix symbolizes resilience and the eternal cycle of life, death, and transformation. As it rises from the ashes, it is a reminder that even in the darkest times, there is hope for new beginnings. The Qilin is a mythical beast often described as a deer-like creature with the body of a horse, the tail of an ox, and hooves that never harm the earth. It is believed to appear during times of peace and prosperity, symbolizing kindness, compassion, and the well-being of the people. Chinese mythology has shaped not only stories and legends, but also the philosophy and beliefs that guide Chinese society. The teachings of Confucius and the principles of Taoism reflect the values of balance, harmony, and respect for the natural world, ideas that are deeply rooted in Chinese myths. For example, the principle of yin and yang, which represents balance and the interconnectedness of opposites, can be seen in many mythological tales, such as the creation of the world by Pangu and Nüwa's repair of the sky. These teachings have influenced Chinese art, literature, and even everyday life, reminding the people of the importance of harmony in all things. Chinese mythology has not only survived through the centuries, but has also evolved in modern times, inspiring countless works of literature, film, and popular culture. Films like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, and Hero, as well as television series like The Legend of the White Snake, have captured the imagination of global audiences, showcasing the beauty and depth of Chinese mythology. These stories continue to resonate because they speak to universal themes: love, sacrifice, redemption, and the struggle between good and evil that transcend cultural boundaries. The myths of ancient China are more than just stories. They are windows into the soul of a civilization that values the wisdom of the past and the connection between humanity and the divine. Through these tales, we gain insights into the universal human experience, learning lessons about life, death, love, and the pursuit of knowledge. Chinese mythology remains an integral part of the cultural fabric, shaping not only the history of China, but also influencing global culture. As we reflect on these ancient stories, we are reminded of the timeless truths they carry and the enduring power of storytelling to inspire, enlighten, and connect us all.